there's a big difference between 99% and 100. I always thought that I was giving 100%. I wasn't, but I was only 1% from making that money, from being where I want to be, from having everything in life that I've ever dreamed of. But it's that 1% that we sleep on. That's why it's so easy to be great nowadays, because most motherfuckers are weak.
Welcome David motherfucking Goggins!
Yell at them, cuss at them, whatever they need, dog.
You're in the presence of greatness, people.
David, I'm just gonna come straight out the gate with him because I know you a little bit. We worked together a little bit in the past for a few months. And when you decide to have standards like you have, it's lonely. So when even I don't have your standards, but even in my standards, it can be lonely. But you've chosen to be like, there's nobody with your standards, David. So what's that like when you choose to go all in on yourself and avoid everything else? Because there's some people here that are doubting whether they should go all in on themselves. And I brought you here, brother, because I don't know anybody that's bet on themselves fucking harder than you have.
I appreciate that. This is my girl up here, so I'm going to say this because she knows very well. Basically, I made a decision about, 23 years ago that I was a loser. I called myself a born loser. I don't feel that way now, but that's how I felt a long time ago. And I made a decision to go all the way in. And a lot of us have this mindset of balanced. It's important. We all have family. A lot of us have kids. A lot of us have wives, husbands, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, all that shit. But if you want to be part of that 1%, which I know all of you want to be, I'm sorry to say, you got to throw that balanced shit in the wind. The only way you can do it is if you go all the way in and talk to your family and say, I'll be home, but not today. So the thing about it is the unbalanced mind allows you to do everything at a level that most can't even fathom. They look at you, they see you grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And while they are at this mediocre level, you slowly rise and rise and rise. I call it front loading. If a lot of you right now want to be the best, you front load your life so then that family that you were unbalanced with, you bring them on board when you're 40, 50, and 60 and say, okay, now I'm home forever because I'm making a shit ton of money or whatever the hell you're trying to do. So it's all about that mindset of how hard you want to go. And a lot of people come up here and talk to you about a lot of bullshit. And they go home and they write shit to motivate you. Right now, I'm a 47-year-old smoke jumper out of British Columbia. I took 5 days off of jumping fires. I'm a retired man, got a shit ton of money, but it ain't fucking enough. I still must grind.
I fucking love it!
I already know what you're going to tell them, which is why I'm asking this. But people ask guys like you and I, when is it enough?
As of right now, it's never enough. There's zero finish line. Because once again, you all are here for a reason. And the thing about it, a lot of you, trust me, what I say, don't take it personal, because I don't know anybody in here besides this man. So if I say something and it's not who you are, just fucking ignore me. Don't come up to me after this shit's over and give me your life story about, hey man, you was wrong about me. I don't know the fuck you are. I'm just talking in general fucking terms. But what I'm trying to say here is the reason why I did not succeed in the first 24 years of my life is because I hadn't developed belief. And this isn't some after school special, some fucking Sesame Street shit that you look, oh, believe in yourself. Your mom and dad, you wake up, believe in yourself. That ain't it. People think, why the fuck are you running 100-mile races, 200-mile races, breaking pull-up records? Why are you a smoke jumper at 47 with all this fucking money? The way I build belief, I have to do it at that level because of the darkness in which I came from. A lot of you came from a lot of different places and have zero belief. That is something you're not gonna get from a book, and you're not gonna get from some motivational fucking speaker. I get it from hours and hours and days and decades of being in the grind. So when my time comes, when I fail and I fail and I fail, I go back to that big ass belief that I've built myself, and I know I will fucking make it. So whatever your belief is, however you gain that belief, I gain mine by going into the damn dungeon and staying there. So whenever I need that shit and I'm getting my ass kicked, I go back into the belief jar, pull out that belief. So whatever you guys got to do that, that is a necessary thing to do.
You know what you don't know is that when you taught me in 2017 about the cookie jar, I took that piece and turned it into software that's now called the G code, bro. That's why these people are here. You don't know that, but like that's the conversations we had over a 6-month period of time before you had Instagram, before you had a book. Like, this is the result of that, David. It really is.
Very impressive. Very impressive. You had a big ass cookie in that motherfucker. Yeah. Sure.
So, give me a couple minutes. I want to tell a story. So the first time I met David, my friend Mike Reese hits me up and he says, "Hey, do you have an extra ticket to this Joe Rogan comedian thing?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely. I do have a couple of tickets left that somebody had given me." And he goes, "Cool, I got a friend that I want to invite." And I didn't know David. He didn't have an Instagram or any of that. And I was like, "Hey, if you're cool with Mike, you cool? Whatever." So we go pick him up. What you don't know is the most important people in real estate were in that vehicle you got in that day. Like Mike and Jay, they're still the most important people in real estate. And the Uber driver fell asleep behind the wheel. Mike Reese is blind, 90% blind. Most people know that. If you've ever met him, he's missing an eye. He got shot in the eye. And Mike rides in the front seat because he can't see well, so he watches shit. And he caught that guy dozing off and grabbed the wheel, and he goes, "Bro, you almost killed the real estate industry. Pay attention." It's before we picked you up at the stadium over there. And so this is the most epic day of my life, still, besides childbirth and all the shit you're supposed to say. But this is like the most epic shit of my life, right? My kids get it. But we went and saw Joe Rogan, and I tried to get backstage, and the bodyguard back there, I can't make this shit up. I said, "Listen, man, I got this dude, David Goggins. I think Joe's mentioned him on the podcast a couple times. I got a whole bunch of weed. I got everything Joe needs. I just need 2 people to come backstage," right? And the bodyguard standing out there, which is about as big as Kevin, who's been following me around for a couple days, goes, "If David Goggins ain't got pussy, he ain't coming back here," right? And I was like, but he doesn't know you at that time, right? I'm like, "But Joe's married." He's like, "Precisely." All right. So I got to go back and explain to him I fucked up and failed on a mission, right? Not an easy thing to do. So I say that because you don't know this, but that night when I don't know what you did, but I assume you ran from the fucking theater that we were at back to the ballpark, right? Which is like 50 miles. I don't fucking know. But anyway, you didn't ride back with us and you're like, "I got this." And you just disappeared. That night, I just happened to go to this bar. It's like the most epic night of my life. I meet David Goggins, right? And I go to see Joe Rogan stand up. I get denied by his bodyguard. Then I go to Happiest Hour, and one of the UFC fighters, because that's why Joe's in town, hits me up and he goes, "Hey, man, are you at Happiest Hour?" I'm like, "Clearly, if you're asking, I'm here," right? Like, he goes, "I got somebody I want you to meet." And I go back to the table, and it's Dana fucking White. And he goes, "Dude, I listen to your shit all the time." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here. I watch your shit," you know? He goes, "Will you come and speak to our guys in the morning, our UFC guys?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like, obviously." And he put out an announcement. 3 guys showed up. That's it. There was 25, 30 guys fighting over the card of the weekend, and 3 guys showed up. 2 of them got fight of the night, and 1 of them took the belt that night. It's fucking crazy, you know? So you don't know that was an epic fucking day that we had together, right? But I just want to tell that story because that like such an impact. But back to the questions for you, sir, is so when you make this commitment, because there's a lot of people here that have made a commitment to core values in business, made a commitment, but it's easy for you to say, you know what, I'm going to diet, but not today. It's easy to say, oh, I want to make money and build $1 million empire, but not today, right? Like Twinkies taste way better than banana smoothies or whatever the fuck, right? So like, when you get to a certain level, you got money, you got fame, what keeps you going, man?
The big thing for me is we're all 1% away. And that's the one thing I didn't realize when I was younger coming up. I put everybody on a fucking pedestal because of how I came up. Oh, this person's smarter than me, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the whole story. But when I sat back and I failed out of the Air Force trying to be a pararescueman, and I gained all that weight, and I was some fat-ass 300-pound pest control guy spraying for cockroaches, this is when I came up with we're only 1% away from true greatness. I'm sitting there, and I'm the same dude that I was that quit pararescue. And now I'm a 300-pound fat ass, and then 3 months later, I'm trying out to be a fucking Navy SEAL. Lost 106 pounds. So what I came up with was there's a big difference between 99% and 100. I always thought that I was given 100%. I wasn't. But I was only 1% from making that money, from being where I want to be, from having everything in life that I've ever dreamed of. But it's that 1% that we sleep on. It's that 1% that we wake up in that morning, we're like, you know what? Not today, maybe tomorrow. Well, guess what? That's why it's so easy to be great nowadays, because most motherfuckers are weak.
For real.
And if all you do is when you are trying to hit that motherfucking snooze button on life, not in the morning, on life, just know this. All the fuck it takes is thinking about all those weak motherfuckers who are taking a day off. And trust me, you will come up real fast. Like I say, it's easy to be great nowadays because motherfuckers are just weak, very soft.
You know, think about that. The reason why you're here is because when COVID happened, weak people said we're not going to have events. We said we're going to fucking do it regardless. If you want to show up, cool. If you don't, cool. Whatever your choice is. But you know what happened during that time, David? Is while everybody else said, oh, I don't know. We marched fucking light years ahead of everybody that wasn't willing to do the work. Oh, I don't know, the gym's closed, so I'm not going to do push-ups at all. No, we're still on the trail. We're still on the pull-up. Hey, we might be at the playground on the pull-up bar. We may not be at LA Fitness. We're on the playground at the pull-up bar. So I know personally hundreds of you sitting in this audience that when your competition the last couple of years went, okay, we're going to listen to all this stuff and take a break. This is an excuse, blah, blah, blah. You went, oh, fuck them. This is an edge.
Well, I call it maximizing minimal potential.
Yeah.
I was born with nothing, but I realized that most people are lazy. So a lot of people, let's say out of 10%, let's say the average human being has 10%. Let's give me 2%. I know the average human being is going to shit away 9 of that 10%. So if I utilize my 2%, I just fucked you up.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's what people don't get. Maximize minimal potential. People look at me and say, man, that's bullshit. You got a lot of potential. No, I have a lot of accomplishments that I utilize my maximum potential. I maximize every bit I have to be where I'm at today. That's why I'm not balanced. I don't take days off. I don't have that wiggle room that some people do. And a lot of you don't either. So you gotta make that shit up somewhere. Maximize minimum potential.
You know, that's what you guys have. You have an advantage in this network. You have look around. You know, the people around you, they might just be wearing black t-shirts and backward hats, but they're some of the most successful fucking people in this country and their respective countries as well. And just think about that. We all got there because we just had a little edge. When I began, because, you know, you coached me, man, I listened. When I began, there was a lot of people that had more shit than me. And then they rested. They passed me and they rested. And guess what? We've passed them because we never stopped, you know? It's not like you ran a 100-mile ultra marathon and we're like, okay, I did it once, fuck it. You know, like, not only did he run multiple 100-mile marathons at this point and then some, but he got other people to run. You got Cameron to run with you. You got Iron Cowboy James, all these people that like respect you, that are running and changing their life as well, you know? And what you've done, and I'm sure you realize this, but maybe you don't, but is in a world where somebody like you is a lone wolf because nobody else decides to live on that standard, you found the 3 or 4 other motherfuckers on this planet that are willing to find that standard.
You know what? That's a true statement. You say, everybody says, man, you started this crazy shit. I don't know what the fuck they're even talking about when I started, but I didn't start anything. Let's say there's just one person dancing alone, doing some crazy, stupid ass dance. It's not the person that started that dance that is the hero. It's that second motherfucker that joins them. Because then everybody knows it's okay. So it wasn't really me. It was that second motherfucker who followed me on Instagram that started this shit. So it could be him, who knows? But see, that's the thing about it. So you guys right now are following his lead. That's how this starts. It's never the leader. It's always the fucking first follower that starts all this shit.
So, man, let's give a round of applause for that. That's awesome. Because the thing is, you're that first person, and all you're waiting is for that second confirmation. I'll never forget, for those of you that are coaches and consultants in the audience, I'll never forget the first person that gave me Dustin Black. Many of you know him. The reason why he's not here, because he's in fucking concert with Nelly tonight, right? Like, this dude chases dreams, right? But he was the first person to give me money, and I was like, oh shit, really? You think $1,000 is like, I'm gonna take it because I need it, but like, holy shit. But it was because somebody like Dustin gave me that money that was like, oh shit, it was that second person that mattered to me that made me step up. So I'll say this, and then we're gonna open it up for questions, and I'll explain how that works for you guys here in a second. But my final question for you, David, is when you're successful and you've accomplished a bunch of goals, how do you continue to raise the bar in your own life? Not according to other people's standards, because you've passed everybody that you know, but how do you continue to set obnoxious goals like you do? I'm a fucking smoke jumper in Canada. How do you continue to do that, and what does it take, the thought process, to continue pushing that shit?
Everybody in this stadium has a savage mentality. It's a primal instinct, whether you fucking believe it or not. We all have it. I'm trying to hurt every motherfucker's feelings in the world. Anybody who thought I wasn't gonna be somebody, it's never enough. Like a dog. I got a little fucking bulldog at home, and I can't feed that motherfucker enough food. He will eat, she will eat until she's dead. That's me. I leave no scraps on the table for anyone to pick up. And that's the mentality that you must have if you want to be great. And the thing about greatness is this. The sad thing about it, most of us never even think about it because we don't believe it's even in our arena. We think greatness is Michael Jordan or Tom Brady or Serena Williams, whoever the fuck it is. People have a lot of money. You have to put that shit in your Rolodex. Until you start to think that way, whatever you think about, trust me, it will become exactly who the fuck you are. I wanted to be the hardest motherfucker that ever lived. Am I that? It doesn't matter. I don't care. That was my goal when I was a 300-pound piece of shit. I think I'm not too far away from that motherfucker now.
You are that motherfucker.
Maybe. But that said, you gotta put that shit on the fucking table. If you don't, it's not going to happen. Like I said, am I the baddest motherfucker out there? Probably not. But I put it out there. So then I am that much closer to that. So that's what keeps me hungry every day. I'm leaving nothing out there for anybody to have. And that's the mentality that we all must have if you're searching for true greatness within yourself. Always hungry.
Hell yeah. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let you guys ask David some questions. So if you'll come down here, is this where we're at? Yep. You can come down to this side. Who's got questions? Come on, this is your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Make your way over here. I'll take this. I'll give it to you in a second. I'll make my way up there. Here's the thing that I'm going to do for you guys. Okay? Let you guys ask some questions. We'll spend the next 30 minutes or so with David answering questions. And then we're going to make our way over here. Pay really close attention because I'm going to come back down here. But we're going to call you by executives, entrepreneur, entourage. Listen, when we do the pictures and stuff, there's no I used to be in Vietnam stories, right? Like, we got like 1,800 people that we're going to get through. David, my man, is committed to taking pictures with everybody. And here's what I'm going to do on y'all's behalf.
Every person here.
Here's what I'm going to do on y'all's behalf. They don't know this. They don't know this, but I'm going to give you another $50,000 on Tuesday, brother. For the like nobody's ever, there's two people, I'm just going to say this shit. Stand up, Bobby. There's two people in the history of me throwing events. Dan, you don't count because I love you and we reciprocate. But there's two people in the history of me throwing events that said, I'll do whatever the fuck you want, stay till it's midnight, whatever. That's you and Bobby Castro. I fucking love you guys, man. I'm going to take care of you, David. For you. So with that being said, when we run through these fucking pictures and shit, respect that and get through it and everything else. He's going to sign some books and things like that for you guys too, but just respect that. So I'm going to pass the mic on for the next 30, 45 minutes, and then we're going to do what David says over there. But again, no Vietnam stories, all right? You guys hear me? All right, cool. Hey, David.
Respect, bro.
I fucking honor you, man. Thank you. You know,
it.
you make everybody here want to be a little bit tougher, 1% tougher, bro, and I appreciate that.
Respect. And I guarantee you, I will get that Vietnam story. Trust me. All right, man, let's bring it.
Let's do it.
Now hold back, motherfucker.
First off, thanks for your book. When I was 19, I read it, and it challenged me and pushed me to actually run 100 miles.
Damn,
so,
respect.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, I'm doing 3 100-mile races this year. I already did one, but I'm looking to get into the 200s. Looking back on all the mistakes you've made and things like that, going from 100 to 200, 240, what would you tell yourself at that point?
Well, the first thing I would tell myself is don't just jump out weighing 200 and some odd pounds and run 100 miles with no fucking training. That was the dumbest shit I ever fucking did. So the one thing I would do, though, is I would start to be fucking scientific on your recovery.
Okay.
It's not so much the distance. It's the recovery. If you're trying to put 300 miles, like, what's the distance? Like, so what's the time frame between each one?
Like 4 months, and it's going to be next year.
Okay, well, think about this. I did 800s in 8 consecutive weekends.
Uh-huh.
So when you're fucking out there, just think about this. 300-pound, fat-ass motherfucker with stretch marks went out there and said, fuck it. Because at the end of the day, that's what it really takes. It takes you. So I have this thing called the 1-second decision. You may have heard it, but I haven't broken it down to this. So military training, Hell Week, you know what that is, right? SEAL training.
Yeah.
It's 130 hours.
Yeah.
The reason why people fucking fail is not the 130 hours that get you. It's the 450,000 fucking seconds. And you only got to fuck up on one of them. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
People, you can get 449,000 seconds right. You will fucking lose by 1 fucking second. So when you're out there, keep that shit in your fucking mind. Don't go out there for 100 miles. If it takes 24 fucking hours, do the seconds, because that's how much focus and dedication it takes to whatever the fuck you do in life. It takes every fucking, that's why people lose. Because think about that. To be fucking wired in for that fucking long. That's what it takes.
Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Oh, cool. David, thank you for being here. I'm Rob Cresty. So I have a question about empathy And there's a difference between no excuses and empathy. And even in my personal relationships, I want to work on my empathy. I can be very candid. I see the solution. I'm like, boom, do this, this, and this. And sometimes I just don't feel the other person. And I'm curious how you see empathy, being about that no excuses life. And there's a small difference, but I'm curious how you see empathy.
That's why she's in my life. I got none of that shit. Straight up. I want to be great. And I have a thing called the Foxhole mentality. A lot of us got motherfuckers from high school and college and grade school, losers, that we came up with. But them motherfuckers ain't worth shit. I can't have you in my foxhole, man. It's a fighting position. I'm going to fucking war now, man. I'm going to war every day in my life because I want to be fucking great. I can't speak this way to everybody because people take it so wrong and so sensitive. I'm telling you right now, man, empathy, there's a spot for it, but not when you're trying to be great. The thick skin, the tough way is the only way. And people got to be able to handle those hard conversations around you because there's managers and there's leaders. A manager makes sure you clock in every motherfucking day. Okay? A lot of leaders have become managers. You want to be a motherfucking leader. A leader takes you, knows how to talk to you, and not baby you so you can become the best you can be. And empathy, a lot of times, about this much, have about this much, but the second you stay in empathy too long, you just fucked up your whole team. So make sure, teach them, not empathy, teach them thick skin so they can get fucking better. It's not here to hurt you, it's here to help you.
Thank you.
Respect. Man, you looking hard as fuck, bro. I'm like, what's up?
I think it's fair to say that we're all risk takers. We're all trying to better our companies, better ourselves.
Yes, sir.
And we get hit with a lot of fear when we're making that happen. How do you deal with fear?
Well, the first thing I do with fear is I study it. I study the fuck out of it. I've been afraid of a lot of things in my life. I still am. I study the fuck out of my fear. And once you study the fear, you realize 9 times out of 10, it's just anxiety. Something that you got to get the fuck over. Fear is only a second. Anxiety is what lasts for a long fucking time. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I'm at fucking 15,000 feet looking out, getting ready to jump out a fucking airplane, that ain't fun for me. That's fear. But with the day or two before I jumped, that's anxiety. But I went home years ago and I studied parachutes, studied how they started packing them, started learning how they open, started learning the malfunction procedures. Before I knew it, I was intelligent about my fear. And once you get intelligent about your fear, guess what happens to it? It starts to drift away. Because now, fear is some of the unknown shit. I became a genius at the shit I was afraid of. Therefore, the fear became my bitch. And that's a true statement, my friend.
Fuck yes, thank you. Thank you.
My name's Joe. I'm with Hyde Roofing. David, just want to say thanks for coming out. So I think everybody's here read your book. If they haven't, you need to. Yeah. So in the part, this is a part that I'll probably reread every time I start feeling soft or maybe like a pussy, you know. You're doing pull-ups. You're gonna have to fill me in on the details on this part, but you're doing pull-ups and your mom's there and you're bleeding out. You know, I think there's a picture floating around somewhere of your hands because I've Googled it many times. And there's a doctor that comes and he, instead of you just giving up and quitting, he puts a morphine shot in the palm of your hand. And I just want you to guide us through maybe what is too much, or maybe what is insanity, or maybe what is you're crazy.
I get this a lot.
Yeah, I want you to talk on that forever, how long you want to talk of it. And you went this way and kept going, right. And I gave up.
Okay. I tell everybody in life one thing before I get to your question. Try one more time.
Let's go.
Okay? Try one more time.
Yeah.
And that goes in for me. Think about this. You read the book. I didn't pass anything the first time. SEAL training, got fucked up in Ranger School, got fucked up in Delta Selection, got fucked up on a pull-up record, got fucked up in smoke jumping training, got really fucked up in school. But look where I'm at today.
Let's go.
So, the limit you're talking about, it's all relative. What I've done to myself, I can't even put on paper. Can't even put in words because no one's gonna fucking believe it. So actually on Instagram, I dumb everything down because the first thing I'm gonna get is you're lying.
Yeah.
So I write non-truths about the truth that is much harder than that. Because I'm gonna get that right there. Man, you're fucking nuts.
I love it. I think that's where we thrive. You know,
Well, the thing
we want to
about
be
it is
around
this.
that.
You wanna make sure that you know yourself.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all relative. My journey has pushed me so far, so lonely in my head, and a lot of lonely, it's called the unseen work. No one knows what the fuck David Goggins really does. You see a 1-minute snippet, you read a little fucking book. The shit I do on a daily fucking basis gives me that very confidence. Like I said up here, I know I've built belief that I may have failed, but building that belief I know I just didn't figure it out yet. Not that I can't do it, I just didn't figure it out yet. And that's what all that is. And I've also built up an insanely high pain tolerance by having that dog.
That dog.
I'm not trust me, man, I was born some sickly little abused kid, afraid of everything. But I built up that dog, and once you build that dog in you, man, the pain and the suffering and the lonely nights and the fucking unbalanced, if you put the right people in that foxhole with you, you are a dangerous motherfucker. Very dangerous. So, yeah,
Thanks, David.
no problem. And that shot hurt like hell. Very painful. That's it.
Colby Howell, owner of Breakthrough Power.
Nice to meet you, man.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate you.
And dude, David fucking Goggins, man.
Respect.
So when you were talking about those 450,000 seconds and you were talking about, you looking at the fear, examining it, my question for you, out of curiosity is, what do you tell that voice when it starts to creep back up on you? Like that old self, that 300 pound dude that was overweight, the bitch voice essentially is what we call it.
Well, that voice is there every day. So the thing about it, so funny about it, man, is everybody thinks that where I'm at today, it's a permanent solution. That everything I came through in my life, that 300-pound fat ass, pest control, non-reading, non-writing motherfucker, that person, literally, when I'm running, I don't see a skinny shadow. That motherfucker chasing me is that 300-pound man. The only thing I do now, instead of running from that motherfucker, every morning I turn around and face that bitch. And I'm like, hey man, I know you're there. I know you ain't going nowhere. But you have to control every decision you make in your life. Those demons are gonna always be there. And that's exactly why I go back to building that belief, because they always wanna break you back down. It's not a permanent solution, but it's how you talk to them now. The conversation wants to be dictated by those demons. When you're fat and you're not where you want to be and you're not successful, those demons want that very conversation. You got to make sure that when you go to bed at night, you're net positive. A lot of times I wake up and I'm fucking negative. And my shit's all fucked up. I make sure before I tuck myself into bed at night, I'm in the black. I'm not in the red. So that demon may get a hold of me before I go to bed, though. I'll make sure to put that motherfucker to bed. And I'm the motherfucker under the bed that he's fucking scared of it. So that's how you can have that mindset, man.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Respect.
David, it's a fucking honor to talk to one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet, especially as a Navy SEAL. When you went through training, first of all, I didn't know you tried to go into the Air Force and weigh 300 pounds. Before you went into training, you went through a lot of mental preparation, obviously, because you went through other branches before that. What type of training, what type of mental training did you go through that can help us as entrepreneurs relate to give that one more step, like Emma was talking about yesterday?
As far as mental training
Yes,
goes,
yes.
what I did was, as you know, that whole accountability mirror crap. I also built something else. I built a lab for my brain. I built a lab that I go back and I do a live autopsy. And I'm constantly trying to dissect why I'm stopping short of that finish line. So what happens is you gotta dissect everything in your life. There's something here that everybody has that's holding them back. That's holding them back from that one more step, holding them back from that greatness, holding them back from that millions, holding them back from being that manager leader. And until you go there, until you work with that, until you stay there, you're never, ever going to get to that next level. I guarantee you right now, I can look in your fucking eyes. You got something deep. Life is not easy. And right now, when you go back, you need to rediscover and redefine who the fuck you want to be. And by doing that, you got to get to that shadow that's chasing me. You got to face your own shadow and face it. Because that question you asked means that when shit gets hard, that fucking dungeon comes and that fucking prison wall comes right in front of you, and to the side of you, and to the fucking right of you, and to the back of you. And then that fucking cell goes right over the top of your head. That's why you can't go past those walls. So.
Cool, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Respect.
Yep.
It's an honor to be here with you, man. I want to learn about the motivation and the decisions when you decided to change your life, and what led up to that, and then how you kept going for that initial period.
Well, it was tough. Like I said, for 24 years, I kind of lived in like a purgatory. And I'll never forget it. A lot of you may know the story. 300 pounds spraying for cockroaches in a fucking restaurant. I can't say the name of it. But let's just say it's
Applebee's.
Let's say it's Country Buffet. Could be the name, maybe not, who knows? But literally, I'm in there spraying for cockroaches. And every day, it wasn't like, it was like, I woke up and said, I'm gonna change my fucking life. I was being haunted for fucking years of just being a loser. But I'm back here, and I went to the recruiter's office, and they said pretty much, I saw this Discovery Channel show about Navy SEALs. I said, I'm afraid of the water. I gotta become somebody I'm proud of. Long story short, went to the recruiter's office, he said, pretty much, you're fat and you're black. I said, man, you're an observant motherfucker. But what happened was, he said I only had a few months to lose 106 pounds. So I'm back in this restaurant, fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, spraying cockroaches. I hit the motherload of cockroaches. They come falling over my fucking head everywhere. Rats and shit. I was spraying this stuff around. And it was in that moment, I realized this is the rest of my fucking life. And I saw how disgusting my life was and how miserable I felt inside. And the change I had to make came from literally listening to the fact that I am a born loser. I didn't want to die a born loser. I didn't want to die that way. I wanted to die wringing my soul out everything I had. So in that moment, I made a very big decision to put everything I had, like at Vegas, put everything on black, put everything on David Goggins. Everything. Went in and came out, this motherfucker right here.
David, thank you very much for being here. My name is Jay Bird. I see you running in Vegas every now and then, so
Yes, sir.
I live in Vegas too. So,
Nice.
you just recently had an injury, and it prevented you from running, correct?
Yeah, I have a plate in my leg from here down to here, and yeah, I have a bad injury.
And so that right there alone, it mentally put you in a dark space. It prevented you from doing what you are meant to do, and that's actually helping all of us.
Right.
How did you overcome being able to do something that you weren't able to do physically and overcoming that?
Well, what I did was I found what I could do. I took 24 fucking hours. So, long story short, I had a bad surgery. Surgery was fucked up. The guy fucking ended my life in 90 fucking minutes. Literally, you go on Instagram, you'll see a picture of me. This was fucking memory foam. I could put my whole hand in there, and there's fingerprints in my hand. It's just literally like this thick in my skin, just fingerprints, and that's a shin bone. And what I did was I said, okay, you got 24 fucking hours to feel like a little bitch and feel sorry for yourself and all this other shit. So that 24 hours went by, 24 hours and 1 second, it was back to the fucking grind, back to the fucking mental grind. And what I did was I took 3 months seeing, will this leg get any fucking better? And I said 3 months, I had a whole plan, laid the fuck out. My wife will tell you, laid the fuck out. At 3 months, we're gonna find the best fucking doctor in the world. And they did some crazy ass surgery they don't even fucking do anymore. He literally went in, fucking sawed in my fucking tibia, broke my leg, reset my entire fucking leg and put a plate in there, and it takes 18 months to even get back to doing anything. It takes, what was it, 8 months to start walking again? 8 months to start walking again. I'm at my 10th month, and I'm jumping out of fucking planes at 9 months. And ran a fucking 100 miles at 8 months. It is how you look at shit. Most people, they always ask me this question, what are you gonna do, man, if you can't run anymore? I'm gonna be the baddest motherfucking cyclist on the planet.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just so you know, I'm running again, motherfucker.
I know you are. I'll see you in Vegas.
Right now.
Hey, what's up, David? Jake Fruge Jr. I can't bend. First off, honor. Thank you for the service. I was in the Army as well. So when you talk about the Foxhole, when you talk about the Foxhole, it resonates with me, right? Because that's what you want. I mean, you watch my 6, I'll watch your 6. Like whoever comes back to back, we're gonna kill everybody, right? So with that mentality, obviously I study rich people biographies and stuff like that. So I study characters of them. What are you, when you look for who you want in your Foxhole with you, right? Like who do you want? You want the baddest mother to have your back. What are you looking for? Whether it be values, personality, mindset, what are you looking for to pick your Foxhole buddies?
Easy answer for that. Let's say I tell you I want to be a doctor. And I go to bed at night.
Right.
When I wake up, you're sitting there with my college list because you already called Harvard or whoever the fuck, and I'm already enrolled in school. That's who I want in my Foxhole. I want a motherfucker that when times get hard and I'm out there suffering, you look at me and say like this, do you want a banana? Do you need something to drink? You want to take a little break? Hey, I got steady late hours. Want some coffee? I don't want to hear no weak shit. Help me. And when I feel soft, help me succeed. Don't feel sorry for me. I want my Foxhole full of motherfuckers. When I'm hungry, you feed me. When I'm tired, you help me stay up. When I say that I can't do something, you help me find a way. You never give me a way out. Like most people nowadays, I hear all kind of families. They come home, that doctor story is real. I want to be a doctor, but they fucking sucked an anatomy or some shit. The parents said, oh, you don't need that. You can do something else. Now, this person's in her 40s, and she regrets that decision. That's not a good Foxhole. You want that person to say, hey, I'll get you a tutor. I'll help you out. Those are the qualities you're looking for. You're looking for those qualities that they keep you in the fight, not take you out of it.
Awesome. Appreciate it, bro.
Hi, my name is Blaine Baxter, sir. This is an honor to come speak with you.
Get it, man.
What do you do every day? Because there's days where you wake up and you have this drive, and then there's other days where you wake up and you don't know what you're going to do. What do you do to make sure you wake up every morning and keep that drive?
This is one of the best things in the world I will give you right now. I hate to give it to you because this is one of my fucking secrets. What I do, I have a lot of bad days. This ain't like some magic potion where I just get up, I'm David Goggins, motherfucker, let's go. Nope, I'm a human being. There's a lot of bad thoughts in my head. Tape record yourself. When you wake up, and how old are you?
14.
Okay. That's awesome. See, I'm 47, okay? So my girl is with me because she wants to be with the man, okay? She does. And that's a hard, when I got with her, she used to dog the men she was with. So I heard this shit got my fucking head, all right? I'm getting to your question. When I wake up, sometimes I feel like a little bitch. But what I do is I have a little tape recorder. And I tape record exactly how I'm feeling on that motherfucker. And then I play it back. That's a bad fucking tape recorder, dude. And I think about, if I play this to my girl, will she sleep with me tonight? She ain't. So I get the fuck up. The moral story is tape record yourself in those bad moments. Listen to yourself. Listen how weak and pathetic it sounds. That will not make you a winner or succeed at anything. You have to fight those urges to just say, I'm good today. And if you tape record yourself and you play that for one of your friends, will that get them off the couch, or will that make them want to fucking sit on there longer? So everything you say to yourself has to be something that energizes you to the core of your soul. So whenever that weak voice comes, you gotta smack it real quick, as fast as you can, because that weak voice is taking the path of least resistance. And none of us want to work that hard, even me. So just remember that, man.
Thank you.
All right.
My name's Jerry. It's a pleasure to meet you. So over the last 20 years, you've been working on being the most elite version of yourself.
Can you put your mouth, you go a little closer. I want everybody to hear the question.
So over the last 20 years, you've been working on being the most elite version of yourself.
Yes, sir.
You're married. A lot of us here are married, but our spouses aren't with us. So as we're trying to be the most elite version of ourselves, what advice can you give us to not cause separation with our spouse that isn't exposed to this and doesn't have the mindset that we have, besides being the example?
That's tough. That's real tough. So you're saying that your spouse doesn't have the same mindset you have?
So my wife, I mean, I was kind of the same way. I grew up from a blue-collar family. It was work 9 to 5. It wasn't invest every last dollar into yourself. I mean, when I joined Apex, I think I had to get on a payment plan because I didn't have the money to get into it. She comes from a family, her dad is the, who's the guy that Stewman always rips on? The investor, Dave Ramsey. So her dad's a super Dave Ramsey type guy, save your money, like talk about the gas prices, not, I don't care about the gas prices, I'm just gonna make more money. So she doesn't have the mindset that I've been exposed to. I didn't have that mindset 2 years ago. So what I wanna know is, how did you become the version you are without causing the separation between you and your wife?
That was easy, man. Like I said, I was real. I didn't fucking what I did a lot of is I hid when I was growing up. I hid who I wanted to be and who I was. If you don't fucking like me for who the fuck I am, so be it. I'm me. And we had that conversation for 3 years on repeat. Hey man, I'm a motherfucking savage. This shit ain't gonna be fucking fun. I'm gonna support you, but maybe different on how you support me. My shit's off. I was just being honest. So if you haven't had that honest conversation, everything has to be in line in your house. For you to be to maximize yourself, your shit can't be riding this fucking little bitty line. You can't be tight-roping this fucking line, because it ain't gonna work. I walk in the house, I ain't tight-roping shit. She knows who the fuck I am, I know who the fuck she is, and it makes things streamlined. There's no walking on eggshells, there's no bullshit. She knows if I'm gone, fighting fires or whatever, she just knows, and vice versa for her. You gotta have that fucking talk where it's like, hey, I wanna go there, and I need you to do X, Y, and Z for me. It's not a selfish game. It's a game, though, that both of you all gotta be in together.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Goggins. Thanks so much for being here. I'm just a 26-year-old kid. I don't know what I'm doing in life. I don't know where I'm going. So my question to you is, what advice do you have for someone like that, and also someone who...
You gotta slow that shit down, man.
Sorry.
You gotta bring it.
I'm nervous, sorry.
Don't be nervous, man. Fuck these people. You good? Fucking don't be nervous. Okay. That's exactly how motherfuckers fail. They walk in the room, And they ain't making no money that way. They ain't doing shit. Nobody heard shit you said. Now say that motherfucker, stick your chest out. Say that shit. Slow.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Goggins. How you doing? Thanks so much for being here. And my name is Mehul.
Nice to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you. And so I'm just starting out in life. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing. But also one problem, a major problem that I think I have is forming discipline, staying disciplined in life.
Do you hear everything you just said?
Yes.
How old are you?
26.
And you don't know?
Where I'm going, what I'm doing, and I'm not disciplined.
So how the fuck am I supposed to help you? How?
Okay.
You gotta sit, all this shit I talk about, man, that's what I talk about. There's a lot of motherfuckers that even came here and talked to you all today. I'm a fucking smoke jumper to keep knowledge coming. You don't ever walk up anywhere in fucking life at 26 or at 16 not having an idea what the fuck you want to do with your life. You're not gonna find it through coming to these fucking conventions. You're not gonna find it in a fucking book. You've got to sit down like I had to do around your age and think about what the fuck do you want to be? What do you want to do? How does that look like? Because how the fuck you can have discipline when you don't know where to put that shit?
Right.
That make sense?
Yes.
You ain't gonna have no fucking discipline. You're like, I don't know what I want to do, so you just wake up and just arbitrary fucking just wake the fuck up and just start getting after it? No. You gotta have shit in order. Plans, goals, destinies, journeys. And then all that shit falls into place. Every question you ask me will fall right the fucking place once you fucking figure out first at 26. So why the fuck are you here? Why are you here with all these fucking people?
I wanted to be around the right group of people. This is my first, I wanted to be around the right group of people for the first time in my life. This is my first event ever. I've never been to anything like this in my life before.
That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Go home, shut your phone off, shut the fucking TVs off, shut the world off, and tune into you.
Okay.
Straight up. I'm not trying to be a dick, man.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's why I said, when you hear me talk, it's thick skin shit, man. You should hear the conversations I tell myself every fucking day. And it's this conversation right here that will change your fucking life.
Yes.
And this is how you gotta talk to yourself, all right?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, man.
Hi, David.
How you doing?
I'm good. Hold on. I think I did something to this. Okay, there we go. First and foremost, thank you so much for your service.
Appreciate that.
And I also have to thank you for your book.
Oh, thank you.
Re-motivated me in January 2021 after a lot of traumatic family setbacks, and it helped me lose 13 pounds.
Good for you.
My husband actually asked me
Awesome.
why I was being so mean to myself when he saw the stickies on the bathroom of our mirror. It was like, you were fat.
Yep.
So I have a question. For us mothers out there that don't have the luxury to tell our families that we're tossing balance out the window, or don't wish to, what applicable information or tips can you give us that can help us reach our very big goals?
Oh, you're not gonna like it.
While keeping balance.
You're not gonna like it.
Because I got kids.
No, and that's understandable. Some people can't be unbalanced. They can't just throw everything to the wind and go after it. And you moms, a lot of you moms can't, because moms, they do run shit. That said, there's 24 motherfucking hours in a day. That's a lot of fucking seconds. So if you want that balance, you have to suffer while everybody else does not. Your kids won't, your husband won't, no one else will. If you want to spend maximum time with those fucking kids, when they go to sleep, guess who's up? When we spend maximum amount of time with that husband, when that husband goes to work or whatever, guess who's maximizing all that time? Every free time you have will be family and what you want to become. There were several nights where David Goggins had a lot of sleepless nights. But if that's what you want to do, there's a lot of time to do it. Just gotta fucking maximize that shit. And if you don't, it's because you did not want it bad enough. And you can sit back and say, well, didn't want it that bad, because you can. Trust me.
Thank you.
And I mean like your fucking kids, like I said, like fucking kids, like in general, the good Lord said, man, I'll be saying fucking kids and shit. That's your kids.
I got 5 fucking kids. So my name is Kat. Thank you for your service. I am a single mom of 5 kids, and I don't really have a question, but what I wanted to tell you is that I have a 17-year-old son. A year ago, he was suicidal and in a really bad place. You saved his life. So by listening to your books, this is a picture of him a year ago.
I appreciate that.
This is a picture of him now.
God, dog. Damn. Turn that shit around for people to see that. This kid was big, now he's all ripped the fuck up. That's badass.
That's because of you. And
now you know that that motherfucker owes me a check.
And he wanted me. He was like, Mom, I want you to FaceTime me when you get there. But I said, no, dude, I'll just tell you. But just so you know, you saved.
FaceTime his ass real quick. You gotta hurry the fuck up, though.
Shaking.
People get nervous and start leaving and shit.
I'm shaking.
You shaking like a motherfucker. Look at that shit. Now, you know what? You can step off to the side. We'll get his ass. Go ahead, man. Yeah, get him on and we'll FaceTime him.
There is no trigger to me like the one where people say, when's enough enough, right? Because I didn't come from much. And a lot of us here have not come from much. So I've always set these targets and I've hit them, but at what point, like, now I'm trying to reach, but like, how do you set goals? Like, you just keep going, like they keep getting bigger, but like, when do you not, I don't want to not set goals big enough. You know what I mean? Like, but how do you keep going? Like,
Let me ask you a question. And I'm not trying to get in your personals. What do you want to do with your, like, so what's your end game? Do you have an end game? Not really?
No.
You want to be rich?
I'm better than I ever thought I'd be in my life.
So you have good money. Your family's good?
Yeah.
So, are you in the best shape of your life?
No. I mean, best since 20s, but
that's
yes.
what I do. What I do is I go through the Rolodex, and I look at all the shit. And I start saying, what haven't I done? And what haven't I done at the elite level? And I start checking those off. Because I'll tell you right now, the second you start living civilized, it's over. It's fucking over. You want to keep that savage as long as you can. So you got to go on that witch hunt to find whatever it is that makes you tick. And whenever that tick goes away, you got to find another thing that makes you tick. And you got to keep that up for as long as you can. Because there will be an end game. This is how it is. But you got to keep that fucking, like, I guarantee you, if you put more thought and more pen to paper, you'll find something that you haven't done that if you really think about it, you truly want to do.
Yep.
And that will re-energize your inner beast.
But none of this I've ever done. You know what I mean? None of it, everything I'm doing, I've never done. No one in my family's done, right? So I know it can get bigger. It's just, how do you keep, pointing up?
Well, no one's ever done it, right? So you're setting the fucking example for others to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fucking stop doing it, you're the first one to do it. No one's gonna follow you anymore if you stop leading. So the thing about life, man, like I said, there's managers and there's leaders. The one thing about leader, it sucks. Because it never ends. You're constantly fucking leading. You being the first, that sucks. That means it's just never over. It becomes a fucking responsibility. I don't care if you have goals and dreams. It's called you have to be able to operate without purpose at the highest level possible. That's very hard to do. But now, man, you set the example. Now you can keep on setting that bar higher and higher, regardless if you want to or not. And sometimes that's all it comes down to.
Yep. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man, respect. Oh, there he is. Yeah! What's going on, brother? How you doing, sir? Hey, man, it's nice to meet you. I just wanted, hey, can you still see me? Well, hey, man, I just want to say congratulations on fucking all your achievements and accomplishments, man. I saw that picture, man, when you was kind of big. Now you kind of rich.
Yeah!
You got them motherfucking cold cuts. Respect, brother.
All right, David, honored to be talking to you here today.
Appreciate it, man.
And so I was gonna say, here in Apex, a lot of people are coupled up. A lot of us are single. Obviously, you brought your girl here with you today, so I was inspired to ask you, especially when you start with Ryan, you guys first started talking about being lonely,
Right.
you know, especially being a savage. So what's your best advice on finding love and then being a savage and keeping a partner in your life?
Woo. She does a lot of the same things I do. So she is driven. So it's not like I had to talk to her too fucking long. I talked to her for 3 years because there's driven and then there's Goggins. So she's driven. I'm Goggins.
Right.
But the thing about that, man, is I found a woman that was looking to up her game. She came to the right place. And that's what people have to realize, man. Like, when you get with that person, they have to be wanting to be as hungry as you are and up their game. So it's like a feed off. It's just you're feeding off two people that just want to be the best. And that's how it works for me and her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it just works great. And trust me, this wasn't my first, second, or third rodeo.
Right.
So it might take some time.
For sure.
But you'll find it.
Awesome.
You'll
Appreciate
find
it.
Mark Zalmanoff, the Fitness Ninja.
Oh, shit.
First of all, I have to thank you for the impact that you've made on my life, because there's a lot of motherfuckers in here that by proxy have had their life impacted too because of you.
Respect. Appreciate it.
If you knew that today was it, tomorrow there's no more David Goggins.
Yep.
Is there any stone left unturned? And then what goes on your headstone?
There's not one stone. Like my man who asked that question about how do you stay fired up, I'm literally now, I'm scraping dust. Because I front loaded, man. I don't, if I leave this earth right now, and I'm not just talking shit, like I said, a lot of motherfuckers just run their fucking mouths. God, dog. It makes me, that's why I stopped speaking for 2 years. I would go to events, hear motherfuckers just talking out their fucking ass. I'm good. I'm not just good, I'm great. Because the second I fucking realized, at 24, I'm fucked. I live life with the fucking paranoia. Like I'm missing out on something, and I've missed out. In living that way, I may have so much fucking time. Whenever there's a second in the day, I'm like, oh shit, I'm good. No, I'm not. Hang on, what's next? Google. I'll Google motherfucker in a minute, see what the fuck else is out there. So literally, man, I'm good. And on my headstone, it would just say a motherfucker who just tried one more fucking time, every time.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
David, I want to thank you for your service and your generosity.
Appreciate you, man.
Coming out. I'm raising 2 young men and a young lady, and obviously I want what's best for them, but you know, we've got the middle class, the suburban lifestyle, and it's easy a lot of times. And so what are some activities we can do to let them know or develop that mental mindset of we can overcome whatever challenges there are? And
I love it. That's enough said right there. I got the answer for you.
Okay.
You live good, is what you're trying to say. Got a decent life, and so do the kids.
Yeah, decent life.
Take some of that shit away from me. And what I mean by that is, you got a lot of chores in that house. A lot of grass cutting, a lot of weed pulling, a lot of hedges to be hedged, a lot of dishes to be washed, a lot of vacuuming, a lot of making beds, a lot of shit that requires a lot of self-discipline. What happens in these homes nowadays is we're all friends. It's not bad to tell them fucking kids, you gonna clean this whole fucking house every fucking day. Because I'm teaching you responsibility. If you don't teach them that responsibility, it's not like you're being hard on them. You're setting them up to have what you have. If you don't teach them that, no one else is. And like I said, have that conversation first. I'm not punishing you. You may be upset, but I'm gonna put your fucking ass to work every day, because that's the only way you start to build those mental calluses. If they come from your house and go out to the world, that's what the world's gonna expect from them.
Mm-hmm.
By you being the best dad you can be, you teach them that shit now. So then it's not foreign to them when they get out there and it's like, hey, what is this? That's the best way of doing it. You gotta have that system set up in your own home. At least that's how I believe. Old school, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, brother. First off, want to honor you. Thank you for pouring into Ryan, who pours into us. Seriously, thank you for doing that. I have a PC question, and then the one I really need to ask. So
a PC question?
I'm just going to ask the real question, if that's all right. The one I'm scared to ask.
Go ahead.
Safe place, right? My wife told me a week ago she's going to divorce me because she wants easy and something different. It's fucking with my head.
You said your wife wants to divorce you?
Yeah, she's about to.
Yeah, you brought that
And nobody
shit
knows.
live,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. And it's fucking with my head, my self-confidence, and what's your advice on how to navigate through it?
Shit. Honestly?
Yeah.
Have you been good to her?
Yeah.
Real good?
I can do better.
I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Fuck her. I'm not trying to be mean. She doesn't want you anymore. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a hard reality.
Yeah.
I've had several motherfuckers not want me anymore. And it hurt, lost weight, gained weight, couldn't sleep, crazy. While that motherfucker's out there getting ass, chilling out, going to club, and I'm fucking miserable, wasting time while she's living. It's a real easy answer. You gotta get back out there. I'm not saying get back on the horse, but you gotta stop the feelings you feel right now.
Yeah.
There's something, like I said, there's something that everybody's dealing with. And your feelings are the one thing in life that will hurt you from moving forward. It'd be different if she still loved you.
Yeah.
And there was an issue going on. If she wants to divorce you, she's done with you, man. Suck that shit the fuck up and move on. Seriously, there's no answer for that.
Okay.
You're a good man. I can tell you're a good man, and it hurts. That shows what kind of man you are, which is why you say, we're good, man. Have a good life. Call her tonight. We're good. I'll give you the fucking divorce, and you step out, because there's a whole bunch of women who like your fucking ass. I guarantee that.
So piggybacking on that, it's kind of been a reoccurring theme with the relationship thing. And so you said you have little to no empathy. I think I might have a little bit more, but I can relate.
You swole though, boy. You swole.
Yeah. So then he said, like, you know, he's single, I'm not. So how did you find her, and when did you know it was like the line to that one more conversation to work through shit, or fuck her?
I like that. It became real easy because when I was myself with her on date one.
And also, how many you been through?
How many have I been
Like, how
through?
many did you have? Yeah.
How many relationships?
Like, how many did you have to sift through to get to her?
Well, I've been married 3 fucking times.
Okay.
So I sifted through 3 women because I was young, dumb, and the women I attracted was in the same place I was at that time, which was the dungeon. And that's the thing no one understands. I'm like, man, how the fuck am I keep on getting these motherfuckers? Because you're attracting the same person you are. The second I fucking became who I wanted to be and started believing that I can be better than what I was, I got this motherfucker. And I'm like, damn. And she liked it. So that's the thing about it, man. Whatever you're putting out, you're gonna get the exact return. So how you find that woman is if you're in a good spot, you're gonna find a good woman.
I got a good woman. Here's the thing. She got hit in the head with a hockey puck 15 months ago and has an extreme TBI, almost died. So she's like, it really throws a curveball into things. And so like, I tried to really be steadfast, but when there's fluctuating emotions and then there's a conversation about us being on the same page and then not, it like so is it like, hey, play the long game and forge ahead? Like, it's just kind of
It's an
tough.
easy question, man. How much do you love her?
I love her a lot, like, and I'm invested at this point, and I've already been through several fuck hers.
You answered the question right there. You gotta go through all the fucking headaches. It's unlike the guy in front of you. She was done. When you love somebody like that and you've invested that much time in them, you gotta get through this time. You just got to.
Yep.
So you gotta, this is one of those SIU pills. Suck it up with a can of hard.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here. I'm 39. All I've known is a life of a cycle of success and failure, and I've recently entered my last opportunity, and I'm scared as fuck of failure. Have you ever had a last chance?
Oh, yeah. So why is it your last opportunity?
I mean, I got married 4 years ago, and I inherited 12 wonderful kids. And I've got an amazing wife, and she's been through a cycle for 4 years, and this is fucking it. I mean, I'm not gonna put the kids through more of my cycles.
Right.
This is my last opportunity, and I'm just scared as shit.
Well, the first thing is, it's not it. But if it is it for you, you're making that call, all right? Make sure you know that. You're making that call. But how I get through that shit, I've been through, God, dog, I think 4 major, really, this is it. And the one I can count on that I fucking remember like it's fucking yesterday was me going through SEAL training. No one's ever gone through 3 hell weeks in 1 year. And Captain Bowen, some old salty Vietnam vet, said, this is your last time going through. And I showed up. The reason why this leg is so fucked up today, they asked, how far are you willing to go? When is it enough? The reason why this leg got so damaged happened in my 3rd hell week. That's why you're only supposed to go through 1, not 3. He looked at me and said, this is your last fucking time. I had stress fractures, shin splints, my legs were broken at day 1. When you really believe it's your last time and you want it, you'll tape up whatever the fuck it is. And I mean tape it up, I mean life. You're gonna make it if you want to. You'll find you'll find shit in this last go around you never thought was even in you. You'll find inhumane shit if it's really your last shot. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's your real last shot, you'll make it.
Thank you.
Yep.
What's up, David? It's a pleasure and a privilege. Just want to ask you, you mentioned, or you talked about the seconds. Your determination is 150%, like perfect. Looking back on the marathons and the records, is there anything you would have done differently or changed?
No. Not one thing. I had to do all that to continue on with the belief I have to move forward every day. Like I said, it's not some one-shot fix. I do these things to acquire belief. And we all must find that belief in different ways. Mine is going out, like I said, and doing what I do. And some of us don't come from a deep, dark dungeon like I did. But everybody has a dungeon. Some of us just not as deep as mine. Some deeper than mine. You always got to find that thing. And that's why I say no. I wouldn't change any of it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, David, I'm Kyle. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. Big baseball guy, so to be able to do this out here for me is pretty special. Being an lifetime athlete, it was real easy for me to train when I was in high school, college, into pros, and having that motivation, having that mission. And now that I'm off on my own, doing my own business, I recently got fired and moved across the country for a job that I thought was it for me. And now I'm coming back, just trying to find myself again. I don't feel like I internally have that purpose and that mission, but I know there's that voice in there.
Right.
Any tips on when you felt lost? Like, why was this your mission? Why, how did you get back on track for you?
You keep on saying one word, mission. What is your mission statement to yourself? You don't have one.
No.
I do. Whenever I get lost on my mission and I get off the journey, I go back to my mission statement on why the fuck am I even doing any of this shit? And you put it in there. So I would advise you to do is you're now just living willy-nilly, which is why we get lost. Don't ever live just to wake up, kiss the wife, kiss the kids, and punch the clock. You gotta have a fucking mission statement on why you're actually really here. Those kids and that family are important. But if you're not your best self, you're giving your family a half-assed person. That's why I tell people, figure yourself out first before you start to fucking go and be attached to a family. So right now, you gotta do it now while you're with the family. I would go home and get a mission statement on where you see yourself 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years from now, and live by that. And on those days you don't know why the fuck you're doing it, bust that open. That's why SEALs, Rangers, everybody's got a fucking creed or a mission statement. Because we all get lost within the war and in the battles, in our mind. So that's what I would do if I was you.
Greatness. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how you doing?
Doing really well. The whole reason I'm actually here this evening is literally to see you. I actually bought a ticket because I knew you were going to be here. I wanted to say thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I was 19 years old. I was a few months away from commissioning into the Army. And I went through a divorce at 19. Shit sucks. And my cadre calmed me down and they were like, hey, man, 2 drops in the bucket and fuck it. That was literally my advice. Really shitty marriage advice, by the way. But then they actually put me onto your content, and that kind of saved my life. So I wanted to say thank you, sir.
I appreciate that.
Now here's my actual question. How do you prevent burnout operating at a high of a level as you do? Higher than probably anybody else here, to be honest, sir.
Right. This is the answer once again, like, I try to couch some of these answers so like it's not so far out there. I expect it. So when I go into evolutions are something that we say in the military about the things that's in front of you. It's like maybe log PT or boat carriers or whatever. It's that person who can fight burnout, who can fight mental burnout, that wins. It's that 1%. There's a lot of people out there who figured out how to beat and defeat burnout. There is no magic potion behind it. It simply comes down to anchor points. You know how you climb a fucking sure face of a wall? I'm not talking about Alex Honnold. He don't use no fucking ropes and shit. But I'm talking about when you climb a wall, you have anchor points in case you fucking fall, right?
Yes, sir.
When you fall, you clip in, you may fall 10, 12 feet. It saves your life. It also prevents you from going all the way down to the fucking bottom. My anchor points are words. I use words as anchor points. Hope is not an anchor point. I don't live off of hope. So what keeps me from burning out are my mental anchor points on where I want to be and how far I want to be anchored and how far I'm willing to fall. So I'm only willing to fall 10 to 12 feet. A lot of people are willing to fall a lot further than that and start from the bottom. The faster you get burnt out, the faster your fucking day is done. Everything you work for can be gone like that. That fast. Take you 20 years to get it, take you 1 day to lose it. That's why whenever I'm burnt out, fuck that, we rise again. And that's how it has to go. One day you'll sleep, but not today. You gotta have that mindset. You gotta be hungry, man.
Love it, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
What's up, Mr. Goggins?
Yes, sir.
So my question is just like you, it seems like you're kind of like a natural loner, always pushing yourself. Myself, like when I was a young kid, I was always did not play well with others, defiant towards their authority. Perfect for an entrepreneur, right?
Exactly.
But my thing is then I end up doing things where I'm usually the last one standing. So when I listened to your book, resonated highly. So my thing is how do you take someone like you that's always pushing yourself and it's gonna make other people mad at you, and then you integrate yourself into a team? Because that's where I always had a hard time, is I was always on the outside.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't get on a team sometimes because they didn't want someone to come in that was gonna make someone else look bad. So that was always what fascinated me
I become
with
the
you.
great chameleon. So now my approach was just like yours back in the day. Let's fucking go, let's fucking go, let's fucking go, let's fucking go. If you can't go, fuck you. It's still my mentality.
Yeah.
But now, I get a chance to know you a little more. I don't come in with that exact mentality. I come in, I thread my way, I weave my way through the crowd, I get to my team, and I start to learn my team, all the ins and outs and how they work. I used to just infiltrate and put all of my shit on them. Didn't work.
Right.
They resisted it, man. They started fighting back. I get in, I infiltrate their brain, and I slowly start to sprinkle seeds in that bitch. Dropping seeds, and before I know it, man, I got trees and weeds and fucking all kind of shit, forests growing in their brain. And I slowly start to tune it up, because now they trust me. They believe in me. They know I'm not just some knuckle dragger trying to fucking break them down. They know there's a method behind this shit. They know there's a method behind the match versus coming in. I know where we're going. I know how to get there. Let's fucking go. No one's gonna follow you that way. You gotta go in, take a little bit of time, know your fucking team, know all the ins and outs, know what motivates each individual. And each individual gets a different leader from you. And then you just start sprinkling those fucking seeds. Before you know it, man, they have all turned into your warriors. Because they trust you, they believe in you, and they know that you're going to be the one that gets them to where they want to go. Their goals will be accomplished living through you. And living and working for you.
Man, this guy is amazing, is he not?
Thank you all.